Today's live is the reason that I started this impromptu live again is very unfortunate, and it is definitely triggered by the suicide news of Sushant Kumar Singh. And while it is extremely sad and really shocking as well, I think this is not the only death that is happening. This is being spoken about because he was a public figure and he was a very good actor and a very jovial and nice person as well. From his interviews, you can say so. But that's not the only person who has done this. This happens around us in our world every single day in thousands. And India has been actually peaking in the number of suicides being done. And there is so much of unnecessary stress around our lives. There is so much that is happening. And somewhere I think we are losing the basic essence of being humans, basic essence of being human beings, and that is compassion. And that is empathy. And I think that is the reason why I wanted to talk more about it today and understand what empathy really is and what you and I can do at our own level to ensure at least people who are around us are not driven to this extent that they have to take their lives. You know, suicide is not easy. Nobody wants to die, but someone who is driving themselves to this point definitely feels that their life is more painful than death can be, you know, and I think that's really sad and it's really painful. So I think it's important for us to understand what we can do as human beings around for people around us, and that's what we will talk about today. I'll try and give you at least a couple of those tips that we can discuss about being compassionate, about being kind, how do you listen, how do you observe these things. I'm not a specialist, I have not done any psychology certification, but yet I think I can connect with people, I understand behaviors, and I understand and I'm able to support some people come back from the suicide as well, if I may say so. I have had, gratefully so, at least couple of such experiences where just by talking to me someone felt that they could give their lives a second chance, and I'm very blessed to be chosen for that one. Okay, so because we don't have any comments, I'll just move on from here. Hi Sham, thanks for joining. Empathy in the dictionary definition of empathy is that the ability to be able to understand someone's feeling literally and share it also. So it's more about just taking in. Empathy is not about giving, it's about taking in, understanding their feelings, understanding their emotions. Yes, thanks Mansa, it is being in their shows and not being judgmental, very essential. Hi Somesh, hi John, thanks for joining guys. So empathy is about really being there for them, not to evaluate them, not to judge them, not to give them suggestions also, in fact, not to give them advice also. The very first and basic element of empathy, basic task that you have in empathy is to be able to help somebody vent out. Remember I was in fact having a session today at 4 o'clock and we were talking about this in terms of pent up emotions. When people hold on to a certain emotion for a very long time. Thanks Sher, that is true. Show support through understanding, John being there and being available, that's true. So if we do not give them those, what happens is someone is not going to be able to find an escape route for their emotions, and everyone has these emotions. Some of the emotions are happy, some of these are sad, some of these are frustrating, and some can be extremely stressful. So if I am not able to vent out my emotions, then I'm going to hold my emotions within me. Think of it like a can of Coke. When the fizz is already there inside the Coke, and you go on moving it, you go on shaking it, and what will happen all of a sudden? It will burst. Because that fizz is kind of accumulating. That's exactly what happens to your body when we hold on to the emotions within ourselves, whatever emotions, especially the negative emotions. When we hold on to these negative emotions, this is the cause of major health issues as well. All your tumors, all your cancers, all digestive issues, everything arises from pent up negative emotions. That's right, Shilpa. Understand by his or her mood, don't judge them. Thanks Sonia, just listen to them. Right, so that is really empathy, where we want to be there for people. Now, we all understand what empathy is. Then why are we still not able to be it? Why are people like Sushant, and forget about Sushant also for a moment, but people around us, there are so many of us who don't even understand what depression is, who don't even understand the importance of speaking up about mental health. They think they are going to be tagged as mad, or something is wrong with these people. And I think some work has to be done at a very, very ground root level, where we need to stop making fun of these things. Being mad is not funny, and being mentally ill is not funny. It is not funny, let me tell you that. So it is extremely essential for us to really, really be sensitive about the kind of words that we use, even on a regular discussion. When you tend to begin feeling somebody's pain, if you are already feeling it within, and you think you are able to exactly match, and you sit and cry with that person, that is sympathy. So I am crying, Sham, you sit down with me and you say, oh, I understand. When we both cry together, you're sympathizing with me. Right? That's what we do when we go to console somebody when someone has passed away. We sympathize. We don't empathize at that time. That's not the time to empathize. But empathy does not need you to be emotionally involved with that person, because if you will also become emotional, who's going to do the emotional balancing act then? Right? So someone has to balance. That person's emotional cup is completely full now. So you have to help that person vent out, remove those emotions from that cup, to be able to look at life differently. Different levels of emotional pent up will take different durations to be empty, for the cup to be empty. So very, very essential there. Please let people speak. I do have some pointers that I wanted to discuss. I think it's also important. We all know we have to be kind, but somewhere I think we are very choosy about being kind. We want to be kind to selective people. We want to be kind to people either who will think good of me, or who will kind of be of some benefit to me, in some manner. Subconsciously, I think we are kinder to people who are around us, who we like in general, for some reason. I would really encourage all of you to learn to be kind without a reason. Learn to be kind without anything attached to it. Being kind to someone you know is easy, guys. Being kind to someone you don't know. You don't need to know somebody to be kind, is what I'm trying to say. You don't need to know. Just be kind to everybody in general. Everybody is undergoing a battle, is fighting a battle within them that we do not know. And if I have not walked that path with that person, I have no right to judge them. I have no right to decide whether this person is doing right or wrong, or whether they will be successful or they will fail. I have just no right to do that. As an empathic listener, as an empathic person, my job should only be to listen. And when I'm listening, I don't want to judge. I don't want to interrupt at all. I don't want to even facial expressions. I don't want to be judging with my facial expressions. So, oh, okay, sure. I don't want to be doing that. I just want to be intently listening. And what is my purpose of listening? My purpose of listening is to only understand. My purpose of listening is to believe that my listening can help this person vent out, speak more, so that is all my purpose of listening is. I'm not listening to prove that I know better than you. I'm not listening to prove that you have made a mistake and see, this is why it is happening, because you made a mistake. So that's not my purpose. So strike your purpose of listening very, very clearly. Listen to people, to understand them, and to help them vent out their emotions. Emotions can be very, very tricky, guys. So it's extremely important that we pay attention to these emotions. Okay, I'm going to read some comments that we have. Hi, Nitin. Nice to have you here. John, yes, sometimes we are kinder to people whom we know or comfortable with. Absolutely. Many times we don't know how the other person may understand my kindness. I don't think that kindness has to have an outcome. You just be kind. That's all. That's the job. You don't have to have an outcome of kindness. Sometimes people don't know how to respond to kindness as well. People are really, really strange. Different type of people exist everywhere. And like I said, because I don't know why that person is behaving in that manner, I have no right to judge someone. Why is this person being angry or arrogant or aggressive? I have no right to judge them because that is not right on my path. I don't know the background. I don't know why they are behaving in that manner. Maybe there is an emotional baggage that they are carrying. Maybe they have had some experiences which is pushing them to become like this, right? So no, we are not, I'm not going to judge that person at all. I'm going to be kind for no reason. That's what we are saying. And my request to all of you is to be absolutely, thanks John, listen, hear and understand, just hear and understand. Yeah, all you will want to communicate back to the person is that you're understanding, not that he's speaking to a wall or he or she is speaking to a wall. You want to tell them that yes, you're understanding what they are saying and you want to hear more and give them that assurance that you are there. And the more people know that they have at least one person in their life who can listen to them without being judgmental. How I wish that we had this one person within families itself. We didn't have to go out, but it is not the case. You know, we don't have this non-judgmental, listening, empathic person within our families. Not all of us have that. And it is not because they don't want to, it is because they don't know. Everyone is operating out of their level of intelligence, out of their level of knowledge. So I should not be deciding why a person is not behaving in a certain manner again, right? So again, one more thing that I wanted to talk about is feedback. You know, we have a tendency of telling people or correcting people when they do something wrong. It grabs our attention. Let's imagine this, you know, you have, you walk into your office or your, you know, building or your apartment building every day, and there is this watchman who very diligently, you know, good morning sir, good evening sir, good afternoon ma'am, he diligently greets you every single time he sees you, right? You do not appreciate that. You don't even respond to it, not because you want to be rude, it's just because either it doesn't matter to you or you are completely lost in your own world and you're not observing it, right? Now what is this person going to think? This person, after some time, because he or she is not getting any response, need to share feedback when we are empathetic. No. When you're being empathetic, just listen. At that time, only listen. Do not give an advice unless you are asked for an advice. So if the tipping point would be, someone would tell you, hey, for example, when I have these discussions, someone tells me, okay, Anamika, I am done. You know, I don't know. I've tried everything and nothing is working. What do you think I can do? What do you think I should be doing? So when they say, what do you think I should be doing? That is when I will start. That is when I will start giving some suggestions here and there, and start with questions rather. You know, I don't want to jump in the, okay, now let me tell you what the solution is. No, again, that person is going to feel very pushed away and it's going to feel that, oh, you're waiting for this particular moment. No, I was not. I really want to listen to you. So that's very essential. Again, do not give an advice when so do not give advice at all. Wait for people to ask you. You know, treat your advice and your knowledge, unless people are asking, treat it like gold. Give it to people when they ask for it. Do not give 101, never give advice without being asked. Yeah. Also, when you're listening, try and not make it very formal. Try and make it very casual. Try and make it very personal for people. Let people feel that you're not trying to do a job, you know, by finishing to listen to them. Don't have like a cheat sheet or something like that where you're making notes what they're saying. That's not listening. It may work in a corporate world. It doesn't work in the real world. Let me tell you that. So do not do that. Apart from being around, being empathic and being an empathic listener and really being there for people, there are some other things that you can do on a regular basis to create a little more positivity around. So like I was saying, going back to that watchman experience or that security guard's example, let's say if I don't go and tell him ever that, hey, you're doing a good job, you know, I really like the way you greet everybody who's coming and going out of this building every single day, I really appreciate that. If I do not do this even once, after a certain period of time, and everybody has their own thresholds, after a certain period of time, that person is going to think, okay, what I'm doing is actually does not matter to anybody, you know, so I might as well just stop doing it. Okay, and that I have stopped somebody from doing a positive action. You know, subconsciously, by chance, unknowingly, I have stopped someone from doing a positive action. So what's the way out? What should I be doing then? every time you watch somebody doing something positive, every time you watch someone being kind, being helpful, being nice to people, or doing something out of the way, pause for a few seconds, thank them, be grateful, tell them they are doing a good job. That little bit of affirmation will go a long way in telling people that they are on the right path, that they are doing the right thing. Now, let's come back to Sushant's unfortunate example, if I may say. Today, so many people are talking about how brilliant he was as an actor, how beautiful his films are, he would have done great, gone too soon and all that. And we did the same thing during Irfan Khan. We did the same thing during Rishi Kapoor's demise, and we have done that every demise. You look at the people who you are losing around you also. When these people pass away, that is when we sit down and we talk about their memories. Why can't we talk about all those good things that these people were doing while they were alive? Imagine how positive and how pumped up it would have made them. It would have really, really brought that motivation back into their lives and maybe saved their life. Maybe they chose against, committing a suicide, for example, in Sushant's case, right? So do not wait for something wrong to happen, or for them to either go away, or for you to lose something to value what you have. Just ensure that without any reason, praise people. You don't need occasions to praise people. Be kinder. Look at social media. I mean, seriously, we are we are so quick at judging people. We are so quick at passing on judgments and comments, and you are dressed up like this, or you're doing this and all. But there is also so much of positivity around, for no reason. People just praise. You post one picture and bam, there are so many likes, there are so many loves and all that stuff. Do that. It may sound very superficial, but it may actually make someone's day. You don't know. And how much time is it taking for you, right? So just do that. Do whatever you can to ensure that you are telling people they are doing a good job while they can still listen to it. Don't write it on their tombstone. They won't be able to see it, guys. We don't know. We don't know if they can listen to us after they are gone. We don't know if they can see us after they are gone. We don't know all that, right? There's no proof on all those stuff, and I'm not going on that path. So do it today while people are around you, whether it is your children, whether it is your spouses, your friends, your family members. Just do it. Message somebody for no reason. Do that today for me. Starting today, maybe every single day, pick up one person, spend like 2 minutes and just speak to that person and say, hey, how are you doing? Just wanted to check in. With all this going around, are you keeping fine? How are things with you? How are you taking it? Think about those so many businessmen who are losing, on, let's say, the travel industry, the hotel industry. They are losing so terribly. People are losing jobs. I just heard yesterday, one of the bigger hotels here near my place, they have 600 employees and they have decided to come back to only 100 employees. Imagine the 500 employees who are going to lose their jobs. They can be one of the people I know. So I need to really connect with these people and find out how they are doing. I may or may not be able to help them beyond that, but at least I should speak to them, right? And that is extremely essential. Speak to people. A couple of suggestions that I have. When you are around, and this is especially for people, I'll do more talking about teenagers and how and why it is important to observe them more. Women also can get extremely depressive very quickly. They can get depressive because the hormonal changes are acute with women and teenagers both. So be more observant with these people around you. Be very careful. I'm not saying that no, men are not men do not get depressive, or they do not get sad, or they do not get suicidal. No, that's not the truth. We obviously have, but be observant. What you can do, people around you, at least people around you, be very observant. Okay, avoid having only superficial relationships, only superficial connections. Say, how are you, do good and all that stuff. At least few people, even if 2-3 people around you in your life you're able to save, I think that's a great job done. So be more observant. Observe the slightest of signs in any change in behavior that you may observe. Maybe someone who has normally been very bubbly becomes very silent, or vice versa. That can happen. Or maybe you will find somebody kind of begins to cry for no reason. Someone would just say that I'm not feeling good when you ask them a reason why they don't know. So these are signs that they are dipping into depression. When people are not able to pinpoint a reason for their sorrow, they are on the path of depression. They don't know why they are sad. They don't know why they are feeling so low. And you cannot question them. That's a very stupid question to ask, but why are you depressed? What happened in your life for you to be depressed? You don't know the reason, and that is why you get depressed. So don't ask them that question at all. Another thing is, I had some stuff here. Okay. Yeah. And when you're connecting with these people, when you're being observant with these people, also be around, observe them very, very closely. Watch them, behavioral changes. You will see probably people start eating more or eating less. Those are also some telltale signs. Talk to them more. Another thing I think very, very essential is positivity. A normal response when someone is feeling sad, someone is feeling low, what do we tend to tell people? Hey, it's okay, be positive, don't be so sad, don't be so negative, be positive, have a positive attitude in life, look at the positive side. Now, just because you're telling me that I should be more positive doesn't mean that I have a switch that I will switch on and I'll say, okay, positive switch on now, and I'll suddenly start thinking positively. It does not work that way. So when someone is really low, thinking negatively, please do not ask them to start thinking positively. Again, going back to empathic listening, listen to them first, help them understand why they are feeling the way they are feeling. The basis of being able to manage my emotions is to be able to know, why do I behave in a certain manner at certain times? What are the triggers? What behaviors is it? What are the triggers? Is it someone's behavior? Is it a change in the weather? Is it change in my food intake? Is it change in my hormones? What are those reasons that cause these changes in my emotions? Being aware of that. So when I'm aware of this, I will be more watchful. I'll be more careful about how do I handle these then, right? So that is extremely, extremely important. So first we discussed, please, empathic listening, no judgment, no giving advice unless asked for. Second, don't push positivity. Positivity cannot be pushed. It will be slowly attained, and only the person who wants to be will be able to do it. You cannot push it to people. Okay, there will be a point where someone will start thinking other ways, but it's a long process, so do not push positivity. First one is empathic listening, and second one is to be ensure that you're not pushing positivity to people. Let it grow on them slowly. Be patient. Be persistent. Do not give up very quickly. It will take time. It will take a lot of your patience. They may be very aggressive towards you. They may be very rude towards you. People will try to build walls. People will try to cut you off from their lives. But if these people matter to you, please do not leave their side. Be by their side. One biggest telltale of depression is that people will start getting aloof. They don't want to connect with anybody. They don't want to go out. They don't want to meet people. They will sleep more probably. They will like to be on their own. If you call them, they won't answer calls, but they may sometimes once in a while respond to a message. So these are some signs, not always, but these are some signs that the person is probably, slipping into depression. Depressions are also different types. There are clinical depressions and there are non-clinical depressions also. So they are also of different types, and so don't judge them on that as well. We are not experts there. The doctors should decide that. Third thing. So we spoke about empathy. We spoke about positivity. Now what else can I do individually to people around me? When we have anyone for that matter going through a certain phase, going through feeling sad or feeling mad, feeling angry, anything, help them identify an escape route. Every emotion needs an escape route. Everyone needs to vent out an emotion. It can be a happy emotion, it can be a sad emotion, it can be a frustrated emotion, it can be tired, but everybody needs to be able to vent it out, throw it out of your system. Do not let your people keep their emotions within them. It's extremely, extremely essential, believe me, because that is the cause of the biggest cause of all the problems in my knowledge. So help people vent it out, and you can help them by communicating, by listening empathically, by not judging them. If I come to you with a problem of mine and I'm talking about my problem, and you start judging me, or you start evaluating how I'm behaving, or you tag me as a certain person, I am going to be very, very skeptical of coming back to you and talking to you again on that topic, right? So any sort of judgment is going to push me away into my shell. So be open. The more I see that you're not judging me, the more I will open up, right? So be someone's escape route, or help someone find an escape route. It can be a form of exercise, it can be writing, it can be watching something nice on the television, it can be listening to music, it can be just talking to people. Everybody can find an escape route, but each one of us should own finding our own escape routes. And if I am so emotionally distressed that I'm not able to find my escape route, then someone who loves me should help me find that escape route. That's the role that we all can play in each other's lives, in the lives of people around us. All right, thank you for joining me. Great gratitude. I will never be able to achieve what I'm trying to achieve through this life, in this life, if I don't have people like you who can pass it on. So please do pass it on. Love, live and learn.